who's afraid to call out LeBron. LeBron's a great player and a great guy. But this notion that he's got to have all the best players on his team. He's got Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. He wants everybody. He don't want to compete. He want to be the favorite all the time.
Here's what's fascinating. When LeBron James began forming super teams, the impact was so massive that the NBA had to step in. Commissioner Adam Silver introduced the second apron, a rule designed to keep teams from stacking too much talent. That adjustment happened because one player decided competing wasn't enough. He wanted to tilt the scales toward guaranteed championships.
Why did Adam Silver have to put the second apron in? Because LeBron got all his guys together. KD wanted to go play with the Warriors. What? Wait, y'all don't want to win the championship and just compete against each other?
And now we're expected to treat this like it's normal? As if a 35-year-old Charles Barkley teaming up with an aging Hakeem Olajuwon is somehow the same as three superstars in their absolute prime joining forces in Miami. Let's be real, those two situations aren't even close.
But we can give you no sympathy when you are LeBron James, the best player in the world, with all of those tools, top-heavy tools. We cannot have any sympathy. That's my understanding.
Let's set the scene. Charles Barkley, a man who's never needed anyone's approval, who speaks his truth without filters, made a few mild critiques about LeBron's superteam era. And what happened next? The LeBron Protection Agency went into full-blown DEFCON 1, ready to shield their guy from even the slightest criticism.
The guy just won the championship. He got a young Kyrie Irving and a terrific Kevin Love. And
but it takes more than that to win the championship.
They just won the championship. What do you mean it takes more?
Remember what Chuck pointed out? He reminded everyone that LeBron got everything he ever asked for. Record-setting payrolls, J.R. Smith when he wanted him, and every piece he demanded. Then Barkley posed the question that cut straight to the core. If you're truly the best player in the world, do you really need all the top talent stacked around you? Or should greatness be proven by competing head-to-head without stacking the deck?
They have given him everything he wanted. They have the highest payroll in NBA history. He wanted J.R. Smith last summer. They paid him. He wanted Shumpert last summer. They bought in Kyle Korver. He's the best player in the world. Does he want all the good players? He don't want to compete?
And that's the so-called crime Charles Barkley committed, daring to question the king. For that, the media machine lit up like Barkley had committed treason against the throne. Then entered Richard Jefferson. Now, let's be clear, Jefferson isn't dumb. In fact, he's sharp, which makes his actions even worse. Because when you know better and still choose to twist the truth, that's not ignorance, that's manipulation. And Jefferson came out swinging.
Really quickly, I remember Charles Barkley got drafted to a team with Moses Malone, maybe Dr. J, and Maurice Ch.
Really? Are we actually pretending that being drafted is the same as secretly engineering a super team in free agency? Let's clear this up for everyone in the back. In 1984, Charles Barkley was a rookie. He didn't pick Philadelphia. The Sixers picked him with the 5th overall pick. Now fast forward to 2010. LeBron James didn't just leave Cleveland. He turned it into a spectacle, hosting a 1-hour TV special called The Decision to announce he was joining forces with 2 other top 15 players in their prime.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Why?
Like I said before, I feel like it's going to give me the best opportunity to win and to win for multiple years. And not only just to win in the regular season or just to win 5 games in a row or 3 games in a row. I want to be able to win championships, and I feel like I can compete now.
It gets worse. By 1985, Dr. J was a 35-year-old veteran, effective, sure, but nowhere near the peak Julius Erving who dunked from the free throw line. Moses Malone at 30 was still productive, but he wasn't the 1983 MVP version of himself. Now compare that to Dwayne Wade at 28, fresh off a top 5 MVP finish and sitting squarely in his prime. Do those situations really line up? Then Jefferson doubles down with another claim. And yes, I call it a lie because nothing else fits. He drags the 1997 Rockets into the mix, another example of a comparison that falls apart the moment you check the facts.
Then I remember Charles Barkley going to Houston. And then he teamed up with Akeem Olajuwon. And then Scottie Pippen was also there. So it wasn't older. Olajuwon and Charles Barkley were at year 14.
Let's deal in actual facts here, since LeBron's defense squad seems allergic to them. When Barkley joined Houston in 1996, yes, they still had Hakeem Olajuwon playing at an all-star level. But by the time Scottie Pippen arrived in 1999, the reality looked very different. Hakeem was 36, Barkley was 35, and Pippen was 33 with a back that had already cost him significant time. You know what the average age of that so-called super team was? 35. Now compare that to the Miami Heat's Big Three in 2010, whose average age was just 26, all of them entering or in their athletic prime. And yet, Richard Jefferson claimed Pippen was in year 11, so he was in his prime. Wrong. By 1999, Pippen was in year 12, averaging 14.5 points per game, his lowest since 1989. He wasn't in his prime. He was battling through injuries. In fact, he'd had back surgery during the 97-98 season, missed 44 games, and was also dealing with knee and ankle problems. Calling that prime isn't just spin, it's rewriting history.
Similar situations, and we've all had thoughts about, either management or whatever, and we've always put forth the team and the respect that we have for each other to go out there and still do our job.
While it's his problem, can you help but take it personally with the commitment you made to come back?
No, I'm disappointed. I don't take it personally because I understand he's been put in a tough and difficult position. I think the disappointment comes that, if that was the case, it could have been done easily.
So this is what counts as prime now? Why can't they just tell the truth? And just when it seems like Jefferson couldn't stretch reality any further, he drags the 2004 Lakers into the conversation.
Let's go to Shaq and Kobe. Does everybody remember when they recruited Gary Payton, who was still in his prime, and then they recruited Karl Malone?
Karl Malone was 40 years old. Let me repeat that for everyone defending this nonsense. 40. He was in his 19th season, coming off a year where he didn't even make the All-Star team for the first time since 1988. With the Lakers, he averaged just 13.2 points per game, a far cry from his 25-point career average. Yet Jefferson points to him as the second all-time leading scorer, as if that erases the fact that Father Time had already caught up. And then there's Gary Payton. He was 35 and had literally just been traded mid-season by Seattle, the franchise he carried for over a decade, because they believed he was past his prime. They swapped him for Ray Allen. With the Lakers, Payton averaged 14.6 points, his lowest output since his second year in the league. But sure, Richard, tell us again how this was the same as three superstars in their prime, all under 30, teaming up in Miami.
The Celtics?
Before Bron made his move, KG, Paul, and Ray joined up.
Joined up? Really? Kendrick, you were on that team. How do you not remember the facts? Kevin Garnett was traded to Boston on July 31st, 2007, in a massive 7-player deal. Ray Allen had been dealt to Boston a month earlier, on June 28th, in a trade involving multiple players and draft picks. That wasn't three stars huddling in a backroom to plot a title run. That was Danny Ainge working the phones, making trades, and building a roster through the system. There's a massive difference between a general manager constructing a team through deals and three superstars deciding to take less money so they could join forces. One follows the tradition of basketball. The other changed the league forever. The 2010 Miami Heat Big Three weren't aging vets. They were in their prime. LeBron James, just 25, fresh off an MVP season. Dwayne Wade, 28, finishing 5th in MVP voting. Chris Bosh, 26, putting up 24 points and nearly 11 rebounds a night. Their combined age, 79, and yes, all three were all-stars that year. That wasn't business as usual. That was a power shift. The 1999 Houston Rockets weren't a super team. They were a retirement home. Hakeem Olajuwon was 36, averaging 18.9 points, his lowest in a decade. Charles Barkley was 35 and fading, putting up just 16.1 points. Scottie Pippen was 33, battling injuries and averaging 14.5 points. Their combined age, 104, and not one of them made the All-Star team that season. So what are we doing here? Basketball analysis or creative writing? Because the fiction these LeBron defenders keep spinning belongs in a library, not in a sports debate. And here's the part that drives me crazy. Every NBA show, every podcast, every panel has that one guy. You know the type. The LeBron defender whose only job is to protect the narrative trade deadline. LeBron needs more help. Draft night. This reminds me of LeBron. Random Tuesday in February. LeBron would never. It's like the NBA media shields LeBron as if he's holding something over them.